says, as you do not know the path of the wind, or how the body is formed in a mother's womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. Now we're going to talk about Job. We are going to talk about Job. In chapter 37, Job uses some beautiful phrases and sentiments to prove he knows God. Or better yet, maybe that he knows more than God. He is telling God who he thinks he is, as if God doesn't know who he is. God bless you, honey. In chapter 38, God has a lot to say about what Job has to say. Then the Lord answered Job from a whirlwind. And this is what he has to say to Job. Listen up. Who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorant words? Now here Job thinks he's being so eloquent and so smart, and he's using beautiful phrases and sentiments to prove how he's so smart and full of wisdom and knows God so well. And maybe he knows God better than God. And God says to him, who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorant words? Brace yourself like a man. Pull up your tighty whities, is what God is saying to him. Because I've got some questions for you. Now this is God talking to Job. And you must answer them. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you know so much. Who determines its dimensions and stretched out the surveying line? What supports its foundation, and who laid its cornerstone? As the morning stars sang together, and all the angels shouted for joy, who kept the sea inside its boundaries, as it burst from the womb, and as I clothed it with clouds and wrapped it in thick darkness? For I locked it behind barred gates, limiting its shores. God said, this far and no further shall you come. Here, you proud waves, you must stop. Have you ever commanded the morning to appear and caused the dawn to rise in the east? Have you made daylight spread to the ends of the earth to bring an end to the night's wickedness? Go ahead, God. As the light approaches the earth and it takes shape like clay pressed beneath the seal, it's robed in brilliant colors. The light disturbs the wicked and stops the arm that is raised in violence. Have you explored the springs from which the seas came? Have you explored their depths? Do you know where the gates of death are located? Have you seen the gates of utter gloom? Do you realize the extent of the earth? Tell me about it if you know. Where does light come from and where does darkness go? Can you take each to its home? Do you even know how to get there? But of course you know all this. For you were born before it was all created, and you are so very experienced. Imagine Job listening to this, okay? Have you visited the storehouses of the snow, or seen the storehouses of hail? I have reserved them as weapons for the time of trouble, for the day of battle and war. Where is the path to the source of light? Where is the home of the east wind? Who created a channel for the torrents of rain? Who laid out the path for the lightning? Who makes the rain fall on barren land in a desert where no one lives? Who sends rain to satisfy the parched ground and make the tender grass spring up? Does the rain have a father? Who gives birth to the dew? Who is the mother of the ice? Who gives birth to the frost from the heavens? For the water turns to ice as hard as rock, and the surface of the water freezes. Stop calling it Mother Nature. It's God. Has nothing to do with Mother Nature. He's the one who has the storehouses for the snow and the hail and the rain and everything else. Mother, who is Mother Nature? Have you ever seen her in the Bible? I've never seen Mother Nature. I don't even think she exists. Then the Lord said to Job in chapter 40, do you still want to argue with the Almighty? You are God's critic. But do you have the answers? And Job responds to the Lord, I am nothing. How could I ever find the answers? I will cover my mouth with my hand. I've said too much already. I have nothing more to say. Oh, but God has more to say. Goes in Job chapter 40, verse 7 through 14. Now here comes the Lord. Before it was God, now it's Jesus. Job from the whirlwind. Okay? He says the same thing. Brace yourself like a man. Because I have some questions for you and you must answer them. Will you discredit my justice and condemn me to prove you are right? Are you as strong as God? Can you thunder with a voice like his? All right, put on your glory and splendor, your honor and majesty. Give vent to your anger. Let it overflow against the proud. Humiliate the proud with a glance. Walk on the wicked where they stand. Bury them in the dust. Imprison them in the world of the dead. Then even I would praise you, for your own strength would save you. Now this is a discussion. God and Job. Jesus and Job. Job said, I'm going to put my hand over my mouth. I said too much already. In other words, my pride has gotten in my way. I think I'm God. I know more than you. It took 42 chapters. Don't believe me, turn. 42 chapters for Job to finally realize he's prideful. And that's why all that stuff came against him. Because his pride made him think he knew it all. And his eloquence and the way he explained things and, oh yeah, your majesty and your splendor.